My name is Chase Cobb, and I'm giving a speech on pit bulls. The pit bull is probably the most misunderstood dog of any breed that we have today. The first pit bull was bred in 1889 in Massachusetts. These dogs were originally bred for fighting. Pit bulls were originally bred from bulldogs, and Old English bulldogs, which are similar in appearance to today's American bulldog. The crossbreeding of these two dogs gave the new breed muscle mass and strength like no other dogs before them. Because of their size and weight, the bred lacked the ability to continue ratting, which was a competition to see which dog could kill the most rats and continue fighting. To give these dogs more agility and energy, they were then bred with the terrier, giving us what we call today the pit bull terrier. With these dogs combined, we had created essentially a super dog, a dog with the ability to fight hard, with a lot of power, and one that never gets tired. Bulldogs were used in a cruel sport called bull baiting. The bulldogs would be released and set to harass bulls for hours. This would continue until the bull collapsed from fatigue, injuries, or both. The sport was banned in 1835 when an Animal Cruelty Act was enacted. Once bulls and bears were no longer being used, the sport of bull baiting was banned. The public then came up with a sport called ratting. This involved releasing bulldogs into a pit filled with rats. One dog would be released at a time. One dog would be released at a time into a pit and see which dog could kill the most rats in a set amount of time. Bets were placed on each dog to previous scores, just like horse races that we have today. The pit that was used for this is where the word pit comes from in the pit bull name. Two dogs were released into the pit at the same time by mistake and began to fight. This would start what we now know as dog fighting. In order for the dogs to be able to continue fighting with injury and not get tired, we had to crossbreed them with the Old English bulldog and the bull terrier. Although originally bred for fighting in Britain, the pit bull began to gain popularity in America for other reasons. The pit bull quickly became responsible for herding cattle, herding sheep, guarding livestock and families against thieves and other wild animals, helping with hunts as hog catchers. During this time, they were often referred to as the nanny dogs due to their loyal and loving demeanor with humans, especially with children. This notoriety would quickly earn them the prominent place not only as a working dog but also as a companion in the American home as well. The popularity is also the start of the breed's downfall into one of the most feared breeds due to the lack of good ownership, training, education, and breed itself. Pit bulls are often the subject of discussion when it comes to people's fears of dogs. From dog attacks to attacking other dogs, the myths surrounding the breed itself. The problem with pit bulls is not the dog itself, but the owners of the dog. Pit bulls are very intelligent and require constant stimulation and training to challenge them. Most people now only want them for their popularity of being the bad dog, and never really get to know the breed or invest in the time needed to train them. I have been a dog trainer since I was 10 years old and have worked with many breeds of dogs throughout my time training them. The pit bull has always been the easiest to work with. The pit bull has the second highest pass rate of any other breed in the Good Citizen certification, usually passing with an average score of 96. The myths surrounding the pit bull usually are in relation to their bite. Most people believe that they have locking jaws, and when they bite, they cannot be made to release. This, of course, is not true. Their jaws do not lock, and the bite of a pit bull isn't the strongest bite in the canine world. Kangals have the strongest bite, measuring around 700 pounds per square inch. Further down on the list is the pit bull, which measures in around 230 psi. There are, however, two factors that do make the pit bull's bite a little more harmful. The fact that they have a very high pain tolerance due to the crossbreeding that we did in 18th century, and because when they bite, they do not bite and release. Instead, they shake their head back and forth just like a shark attack. By doing this, it causes skin to rip along with anything else between their teeth. This style of attack often leaving the victims severely damaged, but this is exactly what we bred them to do. The second problem is the pit bull is not an actual breed of dog. It is simply a description of many dogs that carry the same physical traits classified into one group. The group can be broken down into 4 subgroups: the American Pit Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Pit Bull Terrier, and the Staffordshire Pit Bull Terrier, and all others. All others meaning any dog that shares the similarities of a pit bull. This classification makes it easy to target them when dog attacks happen because of the many breeds of dogs that are placed into the category, including boxers, lab mixes, bulldog mixes, and many, many more. The media also uses the term pit bull to draw in ratings on a story. When a lab attacks a person or a golden retriever bites someone, the news reports it as a dog attack. They do not use the breed specifics in the headline. When it is a pit bull or a dog that simply looks like a pit bull, they use breed specific terms and add trigger words to headlines reading something like pit bull brutally attacks 6-year-old in her home. This is the main reason that the pit bulls have a reputation that they have today. The pit bull today is the Doberman Pinscher of yesterday and used to instill fear in the unknowing person. The stereotypes surrounding pit bulls are slowly changing, and people are beginning to educate themselves on the breed. Specific legislation is being done away with and replaced with tougher laws enforcing more of the responsibility on the owners themselves. I've never met someone that owned a pit bull that wasn't in love with the breed. I have never introduced someone to any of mine that didn't immediately fall in love with as well. Controversy or not, this is a breed of dog that attracts a lot of attention from all over. They are loved and adored by the people who know them and feared by the ones who do not. Whether you love them or hate them, they're an American dog and are here to stay. I've owned pit bulls my entire life, and that is the only dog that I will ever own. Pit bull does not cause any more of a threat to society than any other dog, and to create a breed-specific legislation banning the breed should never be done.